But I'm going to tell you a little bit about me. I'm Jeff Kessler, and I'd like to be your governor. On May 14th, I'm asking for your vote. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, those that don't know much about me. I'm a grandson of a Russian immigrant who came over on a boat from Russia back in the early 1900s and went to work and came into Ellis Island and then found a better life, came to West Virginia working in Hitchman coal mines in Macon, West Virginia. He had 8 kids. His youngest daughter was my mother, Rosemary, and they lived in a company store in Hitchman Road. So I know what it's like to live in a coal field and a coal slag home. I grew up in that. I grew up in that area. I've seen people work for a living. I also know that that creates opportunity for people. I also know my dad, my grandmother, my father, God bless his soul, passed away in October a year ago. But his dad died when he was 5 years old. He was the chief of police in a little town called Benwood in the northern part of the state. My grandmother raised that young man by herself, her little boy. She went to work, working in a post office as a clerk. And back then in the 30s and 40s, you got to remember, women didn't work. She was probably the only woman in the community that worked for a living. My dad used to tell me the kids in the neighborhood used to make fun of him because his mom went to work. But she did. She was a woman's liver way before women's liver ever happened back in the 1930s. And I'll tell you, through her hard work, she started as a clerk, and she rose all the way to be the postmaster. The first female postmaster in the state of West Virginia was appointed by John F. Kennedy back in 1960. I know what it's like to work in adversity. I know what it's like to live in a tough area. I know what it's like to work for a living and to rise from nothing to go to the heights. And that can happen, and that's what I intend to do. I'd like to be your governor. I also am the first person in my family ever went to college. Nobody else ever did. No one in my family ever was able to go to college. No one in my family ever went to law school, but I did. No one in my family ever served in the legislature, but I did. No one in my family ever rose to the power of actually becoming, some may say, the second most powerful man in the state by acting president of the Senate, but I did. Now they're telling me I can't be governor. Well, if you follow the pattern, don't tell me I can't, because you just might see that I can. But I've been used to being an underdog. But that doesn't mean I can't win, because with your help I will. And I can tell you this, I regret as well that my wife isn't here today, Gretchen. My oldest son, Jacob's over there. Jacob, where are you? Stand up. But I tell you, I was sworn into the Senate on November 17, 1997. It was his 8th birthday. He's now 21, going on 12. But anyway, but I'm glad that he's here. And I can tell you, my wife, she could not be here, and I wish she could, because she'd make an exceptional first lady. I tell folks she's pretty like and elegant like Jackie Kennedy. She's smart as Hillary Clinton. She's got the heart of Eleanor Roosevelt. And folks say, Jeff, what's wrong with that? I said, she's tougher than old Harry Truman. That's what and but actually, she's home taking care of my 2 youngest children. I've got them 21, 18, 5, and 2. So I can tell you, I'm the only one that's got them in college, high school, preschool, and diapers. Nobody on this stage has them. She's taking care of the 2 and the 5, who are, particularly the 2 who's got a little runny nose, and you know what that's like. So she's doing the most important job in the world, and that's taking care of the family. So I wish she could be here, and she does as well. But again, she's doing the job that she needs to do. And the youngest 2 kids, their names, 5-year-old are Jackson Donovan Kessler, and the 2-year-old is Hastings Jefferson Kessler. And it is no accident, is it Jefferson Jackson in my family. And it is no accident, I'll tell you, I have a Jefferson Jackson dinner every single day in the Kessler household. And it may be Fruit Loops and Lucky Charms, but we have one every single day. And I'll tell you, I'm proud to have those Democrat names, because I know what Democrat stands for. And I'm also proud to tell you here today, as I look around the room and look at the banner, if you look around all the bumper stickers, I am, and I don't say this negatively, I am the only candidate on this stage that has the word Democrat on any of their material. I am proud of it. And I can tell you, I will always be proud to be a Democrat, and that's for, and people say, well, what kind of Democrat are you, Jeff? Well, I'll tell you what kind of Democrat I am. I'm a don't ask what your country can do for you, ask what you can do for your country Democrat. Don't you agree that's what we all do? I'm a Democrat that says some people see things as they are and ask why. I dream things that never were and ask why not. I'm a Democrat that says the work goes on, the cause endures, the hope still lives, The dream will never die, Democrat. That's what kind of Democrat. I'm a Kennedy Democrat. Are we Kennedy Democrats in this room? I'm a Bill Clinton Democrat. I'm a Democrat who believes in surplus, believes in taking care of the working man, then believes in responsible government, and believes in taking in the right-wing wackos when he has to, and when they come after him, knock him down. That's what kind of Democrat I am. And yes, I am a Barack Obama Democrat. I'm a Barack Obama Democrat that believes that every single man and woman and child deserves health insurance in this country and in this state. And as your governor, I pledge you will. That's what kind of Democrat I am. And I'm a Bob Byrd Democrat. I'm a Democrat that ain't afraid to stand up for what's right, and even when everyone else is not on your side, and hold that Constitution and say this is the most powerful book in the world. And I will not stand down to anybody, any group, anytime, anywhere that tries to tread on that Constitution, as long as I'm your governor, as long as I'm in power, as long as I serve in any type of public office. And I can tell you, I've had a history of doing it. I've not been afraid to take on the coal companies when they were blasting the hillsides off down in southern West Virginia and were shaking the property and actually damaging the homes. And we had a task force put together by the president, or the acting governor, myself, and Lloyd Jackson, and others, and we passed legislation. We passed legislation that made sure that when those folks' homes were damaged, they were taken care of. The coal companies didn't like it, but we did it. Up to the right wing when they come after you, by such things as human rights, about taking care of people, about extending the rights of every single human being in this state, regardless of their race, color, creed, religion, and yes, sexual orientation, to have the right to live anywhere in this state, to go to work anywhere in this state and not be worried about getting fired because of who they love tonight, not what they do during the day. And I will stand up to the right wing when they try to say that's wrong, because what they're doing is wrong. And I'll stand up to the right wing, and I'll stand up to the Tea Partiers when they come out and they say that health care is wrong. Giving everybody health care in this state is wrong. I take them on then. I'll take them on before. I took them on in Wheeling. They had a rally up there about a year ago, and I stood in and shouted them down. They could scream all they want at me, but you can't take away the right of people to have health care in this nation. Ladies and gentlemen, as your governor, I'll stand up for those things. I'm not afraid to take on the big dogs. I'm not afraid to say no sometimes to my friends in the unions. I'm not afraid sometimes to say no to anybody. What I will not do is ever compromise what's best for you. If you vote for me, I assure you I'll be for you. I need your vote on May 14th. Thank you very much.